Welcome everybody. In this Python tutorial we're going to go over how to count occurrences of characters, words, and numbers in strings and lists. Let's go ahead and get started with our first example. In this first example we want to count the number of spaces in a string. So let's go ahead and type out our string. Okay, so we've typed out our string here. It says, "Hello, I hope you are having a nice day." Now in this example, as we mentioned, we want to count the number of spaces. So to be able to do this, we can use the count function. So after the string, we're going to use a dot to access count. And then inside the round brackets, we want to put whatever we want to count. So we're going to put a single quote, a space, and then another single quote. And since we put a space inside the quotes, this will count the number of spaces in this string. Now to see the output, let's go ahead and use a print to display. And let's just put in our string 1. If we select this and run it, we should get the count of spaces in this string 1. Okay, you can see over here in the console, we get 8. So if we double check that, you can see 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's counting the number of spaces correctly. Now you can also use this count function with a format on a string, so let's show you an example of that. Okay, so here we've used the count function inside of a print along with a string and the format, and this will allow us to put a little bit of information with our count number. So we have our string that says count of spaces in string 1 is. These curly brackets will function as a placeholder. Then we use the format, and inside the round brackets of the format we put our string with the count, and inside the count round brackets we did the same thing we did up here. This determines what we want to count, so we put a single quote, a space, so it will count the spaces, and then another single quote. Let's go ahead and delete this count function at the end of string 1. Now let's go ahead and select our second print statement and run it, and you can see we get our string with the information and the count that says count of spaces in string 1 is 8. Okay, so for our next example, we want to count specific letters in a string. Okay, so we've typed out another little string here. We typed out A 3 times, B 5 times, and C 2 times. So let's say in this case we want to count the number of B's. So let's use a print to display the count. Let's put in our string 2, use our count function, and inside the round brackets we want to tell the count function what to count, and in this case we want to count the B's. Select it and run it, and we should get back 5, and we do. Now of course you can change that, so let's change that to A. Run it again, and we should get back 3 this time, and we do. And one last count, let's count the C's, and we should get back 2. We get back 2, we're good to go. Okay, so in our next example, let's say that you want to count the occurrences of a specific number in a list. So let's go ahead and create our list. Let's put in our numbers. Okay, so let's say to start that you want to count the occurrences of 5 in this list. So to do that, let's use a print to display the count. Let's access our list, use a dot to access the count function, and then inside the round brackets tell it what we want to count the occurrences of. In this case, it's going to be 5. So let's just do a quick count. We can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 number 5s in this list. So if we select this and run it, we should get back 7. Okay? We do, we're good to go. Now you can do the same thing. You could put any specific number that you want to count the occurrences of inside the round brackets of the count function, and it should return the count of those specific numbers. Now you can also use the count function to count words in a string, so let's go ahead and show an example of that. Okay, so here we have our string. It says it is a beautiful sunny day, and in this case let's say we want to count the number of sunnies in this string. Let's type out a print to display our count, access our string number 3, use a dot to access the count function. Inside the round brackets we want to count sunny, and of course we know sunny is in the string 2 times, so when we select this and run it we should get back 2, and we do. That's good. Let's add sunny to the string again, Select it and run it again, and now we should get back 3, and we do. Okay? So those are just a few examples of different ways that you can count specific characters, words, and numbers in strings and lists. That's all we have for this tutorial. We'll be doing many more Python tutorials in the near future. Join us for those, and we'll see you next time.